debacles.
Guys,
Where do we start, bro?
Where do we begin?
I mean, we've
Mick?
been seeing in our travels just how shitty the whole process is. You're getting bitched at by the TSA. You're getting bitched at by the air stewardesses, the air waitresses,
air cops.
Like they act like chaperones on a field trip. Mm-hmm. I mean, they're like bossing you around like teachers. Let's start on this trip. On our way to Colombia, we're in Fort Lauderdale Airport. Normally,
Well, let's start before the
good.
trip, Mick. I had to get my passport renewed.
oh, that's fun.
All right, and the process now.
I had to fly to New Orleans to get my passport done when I needed to expedite it.
Yeah. Everything government touches turns to shit.
Yes.
That is the bottom line. I'm going to skip to the very end, and then I'll get into detail. And I will prove mathematically that everything government touches turns to shit. Government is good at two things: murder and kidnap. They are so fucking good at murder and kidnap. They're the best in the history of the world. They have a monopoly on violence.
Our government, you're saying, or any
Governments in general exist to murder, kidnap, and use the leverage of potential murder and kidnap to make you do whatever they want to do.
yeah.
Okay? Our government just happens to be the best to ever fucking do it. So they give us this illusion that we're in control when we're not in fucking control of anything.
Didn't you say that in your last one? You're like, yo, they're like, they threatened to shut down. We're like, oh, you're going to shut down? The government's going to shut down?
Yes.
What do we do?
Yeah, to prove how useless they
What
are.
do we
if it-
do?
That's why
Yeah,
they
and
won't
then
do
they're
it.
fucking shut down.
And then the
Come on.
simps in the comments are like, oh, the non-essential employees won't get their paychecks. Blah, 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 blah. If everybody in TSA lost their job tomorrow, it would be a fucking humanitarian win. If they all, 53% of our Americans, we're going to become a communist nation. We're going down the road of a social. 53% of our GDP is spent on fucking government jobs and expenses anyway. We're already a socialist country. We're there. We crossed the Rubicon. And these fucking room temperature IQ fucking bureaucrats are so bad at their job, okay, that you have to get naked to go through their fucking machines, and they still can't catch the bad guys.
If they have 10 machines in there, 2 are going.
2 are going.
Yeah.
2. And the lines are backed up through out through the front of security.
There's not enough people working. Why not? Why not? You generated more tax revenue in the last 3 years than the history of the fucking country combined. Taxes aren't high enough. We brought in more tax revenue last year than we ever did in any year of our history, except for the year before that, and the year before that, and the year before that. Okay? We've spent $9 trillion fucking dollars in the last 3 years. And everything is worse. We didn't fix a fucking pothole in this country, but we can send $165 million worth of services, assets, and money to fucking countries abroad to fight their wars and fund their economy. But we have to have 2 fucking room temperature IQ fucking morons working a fucking $100 million machine to make sure that you don't have 8 ounces of fucking water shoved up your ass.
You know what's crazy when you say 165 million? You said million.
A billion, forgive me.
No, but my point is, like, you said 165 million. I was thinking, fuck, 165 million is a lot of money. But then I was like, wait a minute. To get to a billion,
Yeah.
you have to times 165 million by the, and then you're like, wait a minute, but then it's actually billion.
Yeah.
Holy
Forgive me.
shit, that's
Forgive
a lot
me.
of money, dude.
Yeah.
It's so much freaking money that, like, we just are like, we'll print more.
Now, on top of it, to get harassed in these airports, air travel is 300 times more expensive than it was in 2019. A $100 ticket in 2019 costs you $300 today. Round trip $600 to get fucking harassed on the way in, to get your knee broken
It's crazy.
in the air, to get harassed
The
on the way out.
harassment and like the fucking disrespect, and like you see like how people they're so like jaded, I guess is the best word, where they're just like they're so sick of dealing with people, so they treat everybody like shit.
Yeah, jaded.
At these
I
airports,
think jaded is giving them the benefit of the doubt, Mick. They're fucking antagonistic. They're antagonistic. The lady that we had a 3-hour flight from Medellin to Fort Lauderdale. We were in customs for 2 hours and 45 minutes getting off the fucking plane.
Just standing there, herded like cattle, take a couple steps, getting yelled at. No, the line's over here. This is the blah, 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 blah. Like, unbelievable.
It took us as long to get from baggage claim to our fucking car as it did from Medellin to fucking Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah, facts. Bro, I was on a flight like 2 weeks ago, and the stewardess, aka an air cunt, was like walking around trying to like tell everybody, like talking to everybody like she was like the teacher. It's like, tray tables need to be up. This needs to be here. Why is this there? I literally was gonna like, I wanted to like grab her or like just like at a point be like, hey, I really don't like the way you're talking to me.
Moderate your tone, dude.
Like,
moderate your tone.
I'm like it's because but then like she was like wearing a mask and like I was like she's probably not gonna I wanted to almost be able to, hey, like the way you're talking is like really like rubbing, like I don't think anybody's appreciating it. And I know I think it's like a jaded thing where they're not trying to deal with these people. You know what I mean? They think they have this authority and they're just like over it.
Then fucking quit. I paid $600. Shut the fuck up. This isn't a fucking. You're not doing me a favor here.
You're supposed to be an air waitress. You're not like my. I didn't ask for a boss.
And on top of it,
you're like bossing up.
They got $30 billion in subsidies because the government shut down air travel. So they got $30 billion in taxpayer money, jack the prices up 3x, and treat us worse than ever. Pete Buttigieg should resign yesterday.
I had a little bag with my training gear in it. I was walking through there like, no, that's $90. $90 for my fucking bag.
The audacity.
They bang you out.
The audacity.
They bang you out.
The audacity.
I love it.
Dude, and it's just from beginning to fucking end. And you know what was nuts, guys, about being in Medellin? You didn't see a traffic cop. There's no laws.
It's all just kind of suggestions, but everything goes smoothly.
Somehow, some way, society maintains.
No, they actually just do roadblocks down there and then physically just take the money from you.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I didn't have that.
Yeah.
Well,
I'd almost prefer that.
It's the system.
like,
You're
fair.
like, that's just
Everything's been so nice lately.
You caught me
It's
lacking.
got to be something.
There you go. Have a tip off.
I lived in
part
Spain.
of the tax. Like, I'm getting taxed. Here you go. Here's my money.
I lived in
Keep
Spain
going.
for like 2 years, and you're right. You could go 1,000,000 miles an hour on a motorcycle, car. They don't care, but everyone drove hammered. Everyone drove hammered. They didn't care. They're not gonna pull you over. But you fuck up, they're gonna destroy you. They're gonna make you miserable.
Fair.
But in Spain, which is fair, right? But when I lived in, and this again, just speaking about Spain, when there was no murders.
Yeah.
Like, you didn't hear about murders, but I tell you what, there's some pro fucking breaking into cars. Like, there are some seriously pro carjackers and what are the gypsies? There's gypsies everywhere.
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't want to detract because my man is ready to just hate.
But here's the thing.
He's talking about he's going to go on
man.
Fox News and talk about this.
No, but this is what's fucked up, all right? Because this isn't just about me bitching and moaning about having to wait in line. It was inhumane. There was old women that were walking. You had to go up, down, and around the entire airport to get into just the zigzag
it was
customs.
at least a quarter mile like line.
There's no water. There's no food. There's no concessions open. I'm hearing these women like crying, like I have to go to the bathroom, but then people are going to think I'm cutting in line. They have babies. And I'm thinking to myself, man, like, this is the United fucking States of America. Yeah. This is the first time these people are stepping foot in here. We're citizens. This is how we treat our citizens. We're getting barked out. This lady's threatening. You're not allowed to record. She's threatening me. I'm going to have you arrested if you keep recording. I'm like, I thought this was fucking America. I'm a citizen.
So what they should do is go to Mexico and just cross the border.
Would have been easier. It would have been easier.
It might have worked.
Just all you got to do is just go to Mexico and just walk across there.
It's so
4 million.
It's so broken, and the idea is that when I posted this on my Instagram, people were like, "It was the same thing last week." I couldn't believe how long it took. It was so unorganized. The people were so nasty. This is not a bad day. This is a bad system. All right? And it's not for lack of funding. So you're stealing the lives, the hours, taxes, people. Taxes are not money. Taxes are the hours of your life. If you work a 9-to-5 job, if you have a W-2, that money was never yours. The government took it from you before you even had a chance to hold it in your hand. It never even reached your account. It was taken from your check. They stole the hours of your life from you.
Yep.
And what did you get in return? Antagonized, harassed, corruption, and war, and kidnapping. And then they condescend you when you ask, hey, so what's going on with that money? What are you, a racist, a fucking Putin supporter? What are you, fucking transphobe? They're fucking robbing us blind, laughing while they're doing it. I'm now old enough, I'm in a weird point in my life where I can actually remember being an adult in a different time that was fucking better.
Yeah.
It was better then. It was less expensive then. It was people in government and government adjacent bureaucracies like TSA were held accountable. You couldn't just treat people like shit. You'd lose your job. It's a microcosm of everything else that's happening. It's a large microcosm, but it's the fabric is ripping apart in so many different ways. New York City, my hometown, where I grew up, essentially. Brooklyn, Jersey, my parents working there. It's devolving into a third world country.
Legit.
There's trash everywhere. There's filth everywhere. There's fucking hypodermic needles on the streets. You can't ride the subways without legit serious threat of physical violence and harm coming to you. It was not that way 20 years ago. It just wasn't. Why are we okay with this? Why are we okay with spending 3 times fucking as much money on airplane tickets and groceries and gas?
For worse services.
And more money, and just to your point about taxes. Dude, when we sold our last company, I remember, like, I worked my ass off, dude. I was eating, like, barbecue sauce sandwiches at one point in my life. I was so broke, right? And I was killing myself. And when we sold our last company, I remember going, oh, man, I'm so excited. We got this money. The money hit our accounts. And then I talked to my accountant. He's like, all right, you owe X amount of dollars to the government. I went, what? Wait, that's 13 years of my life that I just poured into this fucking business. And you just take that away? No wonder what. And then it hit me. I was like, no, because I never used to be crazy, like, into, not politics. I don't care about right. I don't care about any of that stuff. Right, left. I don't care about that. I care about right and wrong and common sense.
I like that.
Right? It's common sense. And you look at it and you're like, wait a minute. So you take this? What the fuck are you going to do with that? I just killed myself for all that money. And you're going to take, dude, if short-term gains, upwards of about 40%.
Oh my God.
40%. So if you put $1 million into something and within 1 year of that, you make another $1 million because you worked your ass off for that $1 million, they take, I think it's like 37% of that money.
But then if there's an economic downturn the next year and the Dow takes a fucking nosedive and you take a 40% loss, do they give you the money back?
Fuck no, they don't give a fuck. That's why, like, there's all that stuff about Trump that was so funny, is that, like, Trump went out on that when they're like, yeah, well, you're hiding all your money and you didn't pay any taxes and you wrote this off as a loss. And he's like, yeah, you bet your fucking ass I did.
That's how the game works.
And that's how you wrote the rules for the game.
Sure.
And all the people that donate to you, they use those same fucking rules. That's how you get funding. And people just don't want to hear that. And that's not, and, like, I'm not being like, oh, Trump, I'm not that. I don't care. It's just common sense, man. I worked my ass off. I know what I had to pay in taxes, and I know what I did after that to be like, fuck, how do I not have to pay that much in taxes ever again? How do I take that money so they don't steal all my shit from me?
Yeah.
Because you know what it felt like? I had to write this big fat check to the government. It felt like I took a lighter and just burned it all. That's what it felt like. You know, if they would have told me, that money's going to go towards a charity.
Sure.
That money's going to go towards, this is exactly what's happening.
Sure.
But they make making money and having success out to be some terrible, evil scheme, right? And the people that make it a happy thing are successful people, or people who work their asses off like us, and like talking about it, saying, no, go chase your dreams and don't let these motherfuckers tell you it's a bad thing.